ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Adi Shankaracharya writes this shloka at the beginning of his commentary on Taittiriya Upanishad. Nityam pranatosmi, I bow down every day before those eminent teachers who explained the Vedantas, namely the Upanishads, going by Pada, Vakya and Pramana, going by the standard ways of interpretation based in Shruti, Smriti and Brahma Sutras. If Shankaracharya himself bows down before the Guru Parampara with so much of devotion, where do we stand? On this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, all of us bow down before the illustrious lineage of spiritual gurus of especially our land, Bharata, and especially those who have influenced us in our life. Guru Purnima is especially relevant now for this jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari, as you will see in this concluding session. In its last shloka, praises Guru's grace. By a side glance of a Sadguru, we will be receiving the highest liberating insight and we will be immersing ourselves in the bliss of Brahman, that last shloka is going to say. As you know well, we did 2 sessions on this jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari, where the waves of bliss arising out of the joy of being free while still in the body is the meaning of the title. We will at this moment open a PowerPoint slide series in which we have covered actually 12 verses out of the 17, and in this session on Sunday, July 21st, 2024, we will be covering the last 5 shlokas in the last 5 slides. The first part of this webinar series on jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari was, as this slide shows, on May 26. Now July 21, almost 2 months into various other programs, we are going to see the last 5 verses. But it is worth singing the first one quickly, how it all began. Pure pauran pashyan narayuvati namakritimayan suveshan swarnalankarana kalitan chitra sadrishan swayam sakshat drishteti api cha kalayan tai saharaman munirnavyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatamaha. That's how the opening ball was bowled, or the opening run was made, to use cricket's language. Every fourth line says, This Muni, whose spiritual ignorance is destroyed by the Guru's grace, the Guru's teachings, does not get deluded, does not come under some false attraction anywhere, no matter where he is or where she is. It could be a lady, it could be a man. Seeing young women and men in a city, well dressed, smiling, running around, moving about, he just looks at all of them and says, I am just the witnessing consciousness. I am pure awareness. I have neither any like towards these nor dislike towards any. I have nothing to give them or nothing to take them. I remain unaffected. And the second shloka talked about not city and the citizens, but some forest. Vane vrikshan pashyan dalafalabharan namra sushikan घनच्छायाच्छन्नान् बहुलकलकूजद्विजगणान् भजन् घस्रो रात्रात् अवनितलकल्पैकशयनो मुनिर्न bhajati guru diksha kshatatama. One day he is in the city with all its glitter, glamour, and attractions. Another day he is in a forest, vane, trees, flowers, leaves, animals, plants, especially birds chirping and flying around. At night he sleeps below a tree, no proper bed also. But in the city he did not get excited, in the forest he does not get depressed. Thus, the shlokas went on and on and on and on and gave us a number of situations. In whatever situation the illumined one finds oneself, thanks to one's self knowledge, thanks to knowing the answer to who am I. The question, who am I, really cannot be answered, but when we say someone has found the answer to the question, who am I, all it means is someone has successfully destroyed, eliminated, thrown to the dustbin all possible answers. When you remain with no answer, at the same time you are alert, attentive, then you are free. Who am I is a question paper where if you do not answer, you pass with flying colors. Who am I is a scenario where the trophy is awarded necessarily posthumously. Because when you have won this game of who am I, you do not remain, you are dead. Your ego is dead. So we said last time we took this second set of 6 verses to be continued, and that is where we continue on this day, where the 13th verse is before us. Kadachit. Not able to see this one. What is written there? Shaktina. Shaktina. Yeah, that line gets blocked in my screen. कदाचित् शक्तीनां विकचमुखपद्मेषु कबलान् क्षिपन्तासां क्वापि स्वयमपि च गृह्णन् स्वमुखतः तदद्वैतं रूपं निजपरविहीनं प्रकटयन् मुनिर्न भजति गुरुदीक्षाक्षततमाः. The reference is to a certain tantric worship where various feminine deities are worshipped by the upasaka, and kadachit shakti nam. Shakti is the feminine deities. Apparently in that particular upasana, sometimes those feminine deities open their mouths Vikacha mukha padmeshu. Vikacha means open, like a lotus blooms. Their mouths have opened. And Kabalan Kshipan. This illumined one, going with the flow. Somehow he, let us say, ended up in a spiritual center where he also had to perform the Shakti Upasana. He says, fine, I will join all of you. If all of you are doing Shakti Upasana, I am also joining. Kabalan, morsels of offerings, ghee or a ball of rice, you know. Into where? Not into fire, into the very mouths of those feminine deities who probably appear as a result of the intense upasana. The figures appear, and you have to throw morsels of food into the mouths. Shakti nam vikacha mukha padmeshu kabalan kshipan. And going to another level, the shloka says, Tasam kvapi swayamapi cha grihnan swamukhatah. The Upasana can go to such heights where those female deities take those morsels or new morsels of food or ghee or balls of rice or something and they put into the mouth of the Upasaka. And our man, being illumined, is not embarrassed, not scared. Swamukataha grahnam. So the beautiful point conveyed here is when someone is illumined, at times he is ready to be upasaka. At other times, he is ready to be upasya. He worships and he receives worship. It is said Sri Ramakrishna also was once seen in Dakshineshwar worshipping Mother Kali. Somebody was watching him from behind. And at a certain point, Sri Ramakrishna took some flowers, which otherwise he was offering at the feet of Divine Mother. But this time he took some flowers and put them on his own head, put them upon himself. Later, with lot of reverence and devotion, that devotee asked Sri Ramakrishna, Swami, why did you put some flowers on yourself? He said, oh, you are watching? Okay. Then he patiently explained, you see, we go to a certain level of non-duality. There is no difference between worshipper and the worshipped. Who is worshipping? Who is being worshipped? It is all Brahma. Brahma arpanam, Brahma havihi, Brahma eva agnihi, Brahmana hutam. We have the shloka in chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvam Brahma. So, in intense contemplation upon non-duality, non-duality during worship. Likewise, it is reported that somebody asked the great Shankaracharya of Sringeri, Chandrasekhara Bharati, a few generations ago. Someone said to him, you are a great Advaitin, and why do you do Shiva Puja every morning? As though you are down here and Shiva is up there. You people talk of Advaita where it is God, God everywhere, up, down, right, left, everywhere. Chandrasekhar Bharati smiled and said, you are right. When we do Shiva Puja, by Shiva's grace, we actually are in a state of mind where we realize the one receiving puja also is Shiva, one who is doing puja also is Shiva, and therefore it's not necessary that a worship has to remain dualistic in one's understanding. Outwardly, for a third party, it might look like A is worshipping B, but the worshipper himself or herself, if he or she has risen to Advaitic heights, knows that worship is going on and everything is one. The seer and the seen are one. The observer and the observed are one. Swayamapi grihnan swamukataha. Therefore, the third quarter says, Tadadvaitam. There is an Advaita in what is apparently Dvaitic worship. Tadadvaitam rupam nija paravihinam prakatayan. Nija is oneself, para is other. In the Advaita, the otherness dissolves away. Otherness, the Bheda, the subject-object division goes away. Munirnavyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatama. His tamas is kshata, destroyed by Guru Diksha. Jnana Diksha. The Guru teaches him and at a certain point helps him realize the truth, the ultimate truth. Non-duality during worship is possible. Such is the point conveyed in this 13th verse. At another place, this illumined man finds that he is between or he is amidst kadachit. What is the first line? Next one. Let me remove this. Now I may be. Oh, I can see it. Kvachit shaivaihi sardham. Yeah, this is movable. There is some strip coming and blocking the first line for me, but it's movable. With the mouse, I can move it. Kvachit, okay. क्वचिच्चैवै सार्धं क्वचिदपि शाक्तैः सह रमन् कदा विष्णोर्भक्तैः क्वचिदपि च सौरैः सह रमन्. Vasan or Raman? Yeah, Vasan, here Vasan. Another strip was blocking it. Let me read again then. क्वचित् शैवैः सार्धं क्वचिदपि शाक्तैः सह वसन् कदा विष्णोर्भक्तैः क्वचिदपि च सौरैः सह वसन् कदा गानापत्यैर्गतसकलभेदोद्भयतया मुनिर्नव्यामोहं भजति गुरुदीक्षाक्षततमाः. This shloka refers to what is well known as Panchayatana Puja. Pancha Ayatana. We have, it is said, Sri Shankaracharya promoted it, an option. Members of Sanatana Dharma can take one of five ayatanas, five locations, five references. Which are those five? Shiva and Vishnu, Surya and Ganesha, and Devi. The figure here shows all the five. Panchayatana. If you are a Devi Bhakta, Devi will be in the center. Maybe if it's a statue, it's a larger one. Vishnu and Shiva, Surya and Ganesha will be around or on the sides in smaller size, the pratimas. So this shloka says, Kadachit, this illumined person ends up in some spiritual center, Shaivaihi Sardam. Kadachit Shaivaihi Sardam. By Sandhi it becomes Kadachit Shaivaihi Sardam. So he is amidst Shiva Bhaktas. On another occasion, he is amidst Shakti Upasakas, that is Devi Upasakas. At a third place, he is surrounded by Vaishnavas, Sri Vaishnavas, Vishnu Bhaktas. And yet at another place, fourth place, Sauraihi Saha. Saura is Surya Sambandhi, those who worship the sun. And last but not the least, there are people who worship Ganapati. They are called Ganapatyas. Kada Ganapatyaihi Gata Sakala Bhedaha Advayataya. Since he internally is immersed in seeing divinity everywhere, he is not going to pick a quarrel with anybody. He is at peace with all God forms. Gata Sakala Bhedaha. And he does what is appropriate. When he is amidst worshippers of Devi, he will sing with all joy the shlokas, the mantras, the bhajans related to Devi. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matrubev Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Nama. No problem. Somewhere else he sings the glory of Ganesha. If he is amidst Ganapati worshippers, Mudakarattamodakam Sada Vimukti Sadhakam Kaladharavatansakam Vilasiloka Rakshakam Anayakaikanayakam Vinashite Badaityakam Natashubhashunashakam Namamitam Vinayakam. He joyously sings. Yet another place, Shiva Bhaktas. He sings as though he is a, you know, pure Pakka. In Hindi they say Pakka Shiva Bhakta. In Kannada they have a word, Appata Kannada Bhakta. Not Kannada Bhakta, Shiva Bhakta. Appata. Appata also means Pakka. Somebody once asked me, I was speaking in Hindi, are you a North Indian? I said, no. You must be a Malayali, they said. Many people take me either to be Malayali or Bengali. It has happened on many occasions. Finally, I found out the person asking me was a Kannadiga. Then I said to him, oh, sir, dear, I am Appata Kannadiga. That means 100% pure Kannadiga only. Later, I traveled to so many places. Lived in Cochin, lived in Delhi, lived in Varanasi, lived in Himachal Pradesh. I was banished from the country to live in America for 5 years. So, anyway, let me not talk about myself. Shiva Bhaktas. Surrounded by Shiva Bhaktas, the illumined person is very happy doing Shiva Puja, then Vishnu Puja, all bhajans of Mahavishnu, all stotras, like you have that beautiful Bala Mukundashtakam. करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुखारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पुटे शयानं बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि. No problem. Surya, Shiva, so all five. Sauraihi saha. Because in his heart of hearts or in her heart of hearts, there is no issue. All are one. One God, many forms. He is the majestic and magnificent and magnanimous outlook of Sanatana Dharma. Therefore, Sanatana Dharmi can be free of looking down at anybody or being envious of anybody. One knows one's spiritual evolution, one works towards going higher and higher. Therefore, this shloka 14 also ends with that line, Munirna vyamoham bhajati. Munihi moham na gacchati. Why? His ignorance is destroyed by the powerful inputs, influence from a guru. Guru Diksha Kshatatamaha. We move on to another possibility of this way or that way. What are the this way and that way? Nirakara and Sakara. The 15th verse goes, Nirakaram kwapi kvachidapi cha sakaramamalam nijam shaivam rupam vividha guna bhedena bahudha. कदाश्चर्यं पश्यन् किमिदमिति हृष्यन्नपि कदा मुनिर्नव्यामोहं भजति गुरुदीक्षाक्षततमाः. क्वापि, क्व अपि, wherever. Kwa means where. Quapi, wherever. Where kada appears here, there also kada means kadapi. Somewhere, wherever. Whenever. Kada is when, kwa or kutra is where. Wherever, whenever he finds himself amidst those who adore the supreme truth as having absolutely no shape, no form, no qualities, nirguna, nirakara. He is at peace. I got this drawing from the net where it is said formless, see the formless in all forms and all forms in the formless. For a moment I wondered, what has this picture got to do with Nirakara and Sakara? But then I said, why not? Here there is a blend in this drawing, in this graphic, a blend of Akasha, which in a certain sense is formless, and those stone works, of which there is a beautiful reflection in water. So there is form of that gateway, there is the formless space with some clouds moving, and I think a girl is sitting in front trying to meditate. We wonder whether the girl is meditating on formless Akasha or those beautiful architectural structures to both of her sides, which is Sakar. Nirakaram kwapi vachidapi cha sakaram amalam. Amalam means pure, nirmala. God is nirmala with or without form. Nijam shaivam rupam. While he connects with sakara or nirakara chintana, contemplation, the high point of it is nijam shaivam rupam. Nijam means one's own. He looks at his own true nature as no different from Shiva, most auspicious, one with that supreme deity. One doesn't say, I'm great, I'm Shiva, looking down at others. No. On the contrary, one actually dissolves into Shiva. Shiva alone is. Who am I? I'm also Shiva. Because when Shiva alone is, I have no separation from him. Vividha guna bhedena bahudha. So there are different attributes attached. For example, Mother Parvati herself could be very rajasic, even tamasic in Kali form, or very sattvic in a very peaceful, loving, divine mother's form. So guna bhedena Ishvaraha Devi va bahudha drishyate. Tadapi ascharyam pashyan. Though he knows the highest truth, he has a certain taste for the varieties of ways in which worship or contemplation is done. So, like anybody else, he also expresses wonder. He also expresses excitement at a very special form of God. Like you and I, upon seeing a very beautiful statue, maybe made of bronze or some panchaloha of Lord Nataraja, we just look at Nataraja from top to bottom, from left to right, for each gesture, each part, each limb of Sri Nataraja has certain symbolic significance too. Himidamiti Hrishyan, like ordinary devotees, this illumined man also, Hrishyan means Harsham Anubhavan. He is so happy. Harsha means happiness. Shoka means sorrow. Hrishyan napi kadapi munirnavyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatama. So bhajana doesn't have to mean always bhaja govindam. Bhajana could be moha bhajana. Bhajana means to come under, to receive, to entertain, to adopt. So you could adopt foolishness too, or you could adopt divinity. So in the well-known line, Bhaja Govindam, they are asking us to embrace divinity. Whereas here, Vyamoham na bhajati. He doesn't go for delusion, thanks to his primary problem being eliminated. Many of us have solved a lot of secondary problems in our life. Financial, no problem. Health also is good. A relation, yeah, pretty much most people are loving and respectful to me. And what else? Practically, Still, I have no peace of mind, somebody says. Because the primary problem of mistaking oneself to be this individuality, to be this body mind complex, leaves one restless. One has everything, but the idea, I am this body, I am this person, I am this personality, so far it is good, but who knows what it will be next year. 2025 may be bad. Like this mind goes on thinking. Someone like Ramana Maharshi would say, find out who has this fear. And when you answer, I have this fear, Maharshi would say, find out who this I is. And you will find that this I is a bundle of memories. This I which is afraid, the I which is regretting, I which is insecure, the I which has plans to teach somebody a lesson, this I that is proud about some achievement. This I is actually like a software program. The whole program can be undone if you know the skill of who am I, if you know the basics and the kushalata, the way to go about who am I inquiry. Study Ramana Maharshi. And for certain clarity, as it happened in my case, teachers like Nisargadatta, teachers like J. Krishnamurti, Vimla Thakar, very long. Even abroad, there was John Klein. And today you have people like Rupert Spira in England, Francis Lucille in Southern California. There are teachers around the world. Non duality is no more restricted to India and sages of India. Non dual teachings are widely propagated, though everywhere they get a small number of followers because vast majority of humanity are interested in dualistic worship. They want to make some figure, Jesus or Allah, Rama or Krishna, whoever, or Buddha, make the biggest statue of Buddha that gives them some happiness. Look at that biggest statue, right? So, or Jains also have. In Karnataka, there is one Gomateshwara, Bahubali statue, very tall. So, most people get certain pleasure, which is not a bad kind of pleasure, good, but very small number would like to realize that which has no high, no low. So, on one hand, study, get some understanding of how this who am I could do such a wonderful job eliminating the fundamental problem. Having understood to a certain extent, we be into practice. And many intellectuals find they have understood, they do a little practice here and there, but their daily life is disorderly. Then attend to it. Do not live a disorderly life. By disorder, I mean in food or sleep or pursuit of pleasure. They get some sweets at some get together, they not just one, seven gulab jamuns. Or sometimes you go somewhere and the host, especially it happens in houses. After your dinner is over, the host says, carry some home. And a box full of laddus is given. And bachelors have a higher risk of this because bachelors come home to their one bedroom house or something and there's nobody else at the house. So after keeping the box there a corner, they feel like tasting one. Then they take a second one, then the third one. I guess in family life, husband objects to wife taking more, wife objects to husband taking more, something happened. There are many. When you are alone, it has its plus points, but it has its negative points. Then there is disorder. If you eat too much, if you talk too much, if you sleep too much, if you sleep erratically at wrong times, and at the drop of a hat, you do things which should not have been done. You are impulsive. You lack emotional intelligence. You are very intellectually very bright. You can understand, let us say, advanced economics, very far-reaching physics. You know how, you have so many facts and figures on your fingertips. Latest news in Times of India or Washington Post are already on your fingertips. You share it with your friends. But you smoke, you take alcohol beyond limits. So, in so many ways, please, I have said this many times, please don't think that disorder has something to do only with alcohol or cigarette. Somebody who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink alcohol, pure vegetarian, doesn't eat eggs also, could be highly disorderly if he doesn't allow others to speak, only he speaks. That's disorder. And somebody else who is very hesitant, doesn't speak up at all, allows others to speak in a group discussion, and afterwards says, I wanted to say that point, but what but? In a group discussion, you are required to speak up at times. Neither dominate the scene nor to be too silent. Any excess or any underdoing in everything becomes disorder. Therefore, a teacher like J. Krishnamurti exhorted his audiences, Sir, before you learn various religious concepts, heaven, hell, and so on, please examine whether your daily life is into some kind of disorder. And he used to say, notice disorder. If you notice and you clearly see, oh my, this is not acceptable. This is not the way I should be behaving. Somebody may be having no bad habits from a distance when you see, but she has one bad habit. You tell her a secret, within an hour it goes to three people. That is also disorder. You know. She can't keep a secret to herself. Something which the other person had said, please don't tell anybody. This is high confidential. Immediately she or he conveys to somebody else. Therefore, coming back, Vyamoham bhajati, to be, to get into some delusion, to get into some disorder could be of so many kinds. So if we live rightly, I was talking of who am I? So living in a rather orderly manner, that is still a big topic actually. It's not through mere willpower, but it's through intelligent observation. It is through self-awareness. Moment you think of letting somebody know what was supposed to be confidential, you are so aware that before the word comes out of your tongue, comes out of your mouth, you realize, oh no, it would be terrible for me to let out this confidential stuff. You stop there. See, awareness stops it. Not because you took a red pen and wrote on a white sheet, I will not here onward divulge secrets of anybody. Anybody tells me something very confidential, I'm going to keep it totally a secret. You write in capital letters and read it three times in the morning. Of what use is it? Instead, if you are living in regular self observation, in that awareness that a word is about to slip from my tongue which is not appropriate. I have promised my friend that I would not let others know about what she had so confidentially shared with me. She stops there. Not because of a birthday resolution, but because of moment to moment awareness. So, Huama inquiry will truly be successful, and this ego can be eliminated if our daily life is freed from various contradictions and forms of disorder. We go further now. Nirakara, Sakara are also not an issue for this illumined person. In two more verses, this composition comes to a conclusion. Now this one says Shiva outside, Shiva inside too. So this is about outside, meaning where there is division in the present context, Dvaita. Inside meaning everything is within me, Advaita. Kadadvaitam pashyan akhilamapi satyam shivamayam mahavakyarthanam avagati samabhyasa vashatah gatadvaita bhasaha shiva shiva shivetyeva vilapan munirnavyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatama. Kada, by context, it means kadapi, kadachana. Sometimes, at times, he sees dvaita. He himself may temporarily come one step below into a dvaitic perception. And then his approach is, I am so blessed, I am blessed. For everywhere there is Shiva. Shiva is everywhere. I am blessed. I am some small entity, but who is so blessed, so fortunate in this way. So in Dvaita, a higher truth blesses you and you feel blessed. There is the Prabhu and Dasa. You are the Dasa. Kadapi Dvaitam Pashyan Akilamapi Satyam Shivamayam. But then the same man is also into Vedantic contemplation. He does Shravana, he does Manana, he does Nididhyasana. And in the light of the Mahavakyartha Vichara, Mahavakyarthanam avagati samabhyasa vashatah. Avagati is understanding. Avagati, avagama, jnana, bodha, darshana, all of them come together. In understanding the four Mahavakyas, or there are more also, the four are very well known, as you know. Rigveda has Prajnanam Brahma, Yajurveda has Aham Brahmasmi, Samaveda has Tattvamasi, and Atharva Veda has Ayam Atma Brahma. Mahavakyanam Arthanam Avagati Samabhyasa. Abhyasa itself means repeated contemplation, inquiry. Okay, what does this mean actually? Samabhyasa, very good, very clear, very profound, very well guided contemplation, aiming at avagati, understanding. Vashataha, thanks to that contemplation, gata dvaita abhasa, that dualistic perception which was operating a moment ago, gata, gata dvaita abhasa, because it was only an abhasa, just an appearance. It seemed that there was duality, but actually there isn't. And then he doesn't say Shiva out there is good or Shiva in here is good. Rather, he says, there is Shiva, everyone. There is Shiva only. Shiva, 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 ityeva vilapan. In this Advaita understanding, the devotee or the jnani celebrates Shiva, 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 ityeva vilapan. Munirna vyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatamaha. That is the common line. So here also, in a way, there is a free and spontaneous movement or an easy movement between Dvaita to Advaita and back. That's how the Jeevan-mukta enjoys every moment of verse now. Imam mukta-avastham parama-shiva sanstam guru-kripā-sudhāpānga-avāpyām sahaja-sukha-avāpyām anudinam muhurmajjan bhajati sukritais-chet naravaraha tada tyāgi yogi kavir-iti vadanteeha kavayah. Jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari.
Slides are not seen.
What is not seen? Slide is not. That means, okay, that means the sharing ended. I will again share. See, there was a technical some disturbance, and that I think affected the sharing. So oh, here it is. Okay. I should go to share button and again cover that particular piece, share. Now it must have come.
Yes, it is there. Now we can see.
Correct. Good. Right. Ah. Imam mukta-avasthām. Somebody attains this mukta avastha. It is also called Parama Shiva Sanstha. One is completely with Shiva. Shiva has engulfed him or her. And now there's a little play of words here. Those who especially have a little interest in Sanskrit would notice guru-kripā-sudhāpānga-avāpyām. Guru-kripā is Sudha means nectar, Amrita. So, what is apanga? Some of you know that apanga means a handicapped person who doesn't have an eye or who has no, one leg is broken. No, that's not the meaning here. The word apanga also means a side glance, kataksha. So, Guru Kripa Sudha Apanga Avapya. Some of you know an expression in many other Sanskrit texts, apnoti, avapnoti. Apnoti or avapnoti means obtains. And avapya means obtainable. So, this mukta avastha is obtainable through an apanga, a side glance of the Guru Kripa Sudha, the nectarine side glance of an illumined person. It is said like someone like Sri Ramana would sometimes just gaze at the eyes of the visitor. The visitor would have come with many questions. But when Maharshi looked into the eyes of the visitor also looks into Maharshi's eyes, all the doubts were gone. And one goes back with great peace of mind. So, apanga, a side glance or a direct glance, you are much more blessed. Avapya. So, apanga, avapya, as though that is not enough. Next line says, sahaja sukha vapyam. So, I myself had to study a little bit, quickly look at the dictionary and quickly verify what I'm sharing with you now. Avapya means obtainable. Apnoti. Apnoti is the dhatu. The next one has sahaja sukha vapyam. Vapya has nothing to do with ap. Vapi means the well. Or vapi can mean a little pond. There is the pond, there is the refreshing water of a well. What well is this? This well actually is sahaja sukha, our natural happiness. So one who receives the blessings of a guru, even through a side glance, gets this higher understanding, and then anudinam, pratidinam, every day, this person who is thus blessed takes a dip in the well, vapyam, which is guru kripā-sudhāpānga-avāpyām muktavasthām. So there's a bit of a vapi, avapya, and apanga, making matters simple. Guru's grace lifts us up, and then we enjoy Vedanta insights like never before. There was a time when Vedanta was so dry. There was a time when we took some interest in Vedanta, but our worldly attractions pulled us away too much. Even with a book of Upanishad, with a best commentary by some great Mahatma right in our hand, we would feel sleepy, or we would think of, okay, but what is the last date for paying taxes? What is the last day for filing the returns? Oh my God. Meanwhile, tomorrow is the last day. This movie is running in the nearby theater. Before it goes out of our town, I must go see. All kinds of Vishaya Vasana used to disturb us. But thanks to a little sadhana on our part, but immense grace from the Guru's side, the day comes when we enjoy Vedanta. Does it make us irresponsible? No way. In fact, as you and I rise spiritually, a lot of mundane duties will be done by us more easily. More easily. In fact, if I may quickly say, even in so called time management, they say if you attend to important things first, a number of less important things will somehow get done. But if you go on doing less important things, you will not be able to attend to the important things. That's a theory, a very powerful theory. Go one level above. If you station yourself in God, if you anchor yourself in that highest awareness, then the so-called main duties of yours will be done. No problem. Because a bosom free of conflict, a bosom which is delighted, will do many things. Okay, oh, I see this file, give it here. You quickly go through it. The problem with worldly people is some failure here and some insult there would have disturbed them so much. Even though they have the knowledge, they have the skill, they have the talent to attend to some problem, the disturbance caused by some failure or some insult will make them unable to attend to the work. They postpone or they mess up the work. So please never imagine spirituality is opposed to effective living. Of course, you won't do unnecessary things. A lot of unnecessary things go out of the box. But whatever are your duties, you need to attend to a son, to a daughter. You need to attend to maybe a spouse who needs your help. You need to attend to your own health problems. Some of those definitely can be done better if you are more regular in XMS, exercise, meditation, and study. Okay, the Acharya says, once one is lifted to a higher level, muhuhu means again and again, majjan, taking a dip again and again in the little pond of Brahmic bliss. Bhajati sukritaihi chet. If one does so, naravaraha, among human beings, vara, this person then is an excellent human being. Then last line of this jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari says, if you and I reach that level, which is possible for us, that is when learned people would call us tyāgis. They say this person has now become a tyāgi. A while ago, he was a bhogi. And when he was a bhogi, he was also a rogi. But now, no bhogi, no rogi. Finally, look at this lady who used to be so miserable and used to make people miserable before. But now, Guru Diksha Kshatatamaha, she is Tyagi, she is Yogi, and she is Kavihi. Three compliments are given. Tada Tyagi Yogi Kavihi iti vadanti. Who say this? Kavayah, other learned people. They welcome you to their club. Pujya Swami Chinmayananji was very good humored. When he used to travel around, suppose in Chicago or in London or in Delhi or in Chennai, he met somebody who said, Swamiji, sorry to tell you, I have now become a severe heart patient. Swamiji would say to him, oh, really? Welcome to my club. Because Swamiji did have heart issues. Welcome to my club, he would say, and the other person also would laugh. Then, of course, would lovingly advise him, but take care, follow doctor's advice. But, I'm already in that club of heart patients. Like that, although this may not be very parallel to the situation here, but something like the other kavis, other illumined people welcome you with open arms. Come, join us. This is the club of tyagis. This is the club of yogis. This is the club of kavis. And you have come inside. Welcome. Guru's grace had transformed you. What a beautiful poetic ending to this jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, 21st July 2024. We have concluded this series of talks, three talks on jeevan-mukta-ānanda-lahari. May Guru Kripa be upon every one of you, upon those who watch this later on YouTube also. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Shri Deviye Namah. So there may be some questions. Some of you may have some comments to make or ask questions. Either way, it's welcome. Then we conclude in another 5-10 minutes. Oh, there are some comments on the chat box. This is Hari Om Namaste, Happy Guru Purnima, and so on. I reciprocate your greetings.
Hari Om Swamiji, Namaste.
Yes, Ashwini avare, ready.
Yeah, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ Swamiji, actually you explained about that Panchayatana Puja and the 5 placements for 5 gods. So we have to arrange for our puja at home in the same way.
It's optional. Hinduism gives you a lot of freedom. There is no, there's nothing like I have to. But if you feel drawn, if you find that very attractive, your pura sanskaras, then you are jolly well, you may jolly well bring 5 symbols. Surya and Devi, Ganesha and Vishnu, and maybe center Shiva. Or if your heart goes out to Krishna, that is Vishnu in the center, and Shiva and Ganesha, Devi and Surya on 4 sides. But not generally in most Hindu homes. It may be just 1 or 2 or 3. We have Ganesha, we have some Devi, we have our Ishta Devata, then some Guru, generally. Hinduism gives us a lot of freedom. So it's up to you. If you find it helpful, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, very nice class, Swamiji. Enjoyed a lot.
Thank you.
Swamiji, there is a YouTube question by Patricia.
Correct.
I have asked her to write it in English. But she has asked.
Oh, I see. She wrote in Spanish.
Yeah, I think tyāgi and something.
Because she is from Argentina.
I've requested her to write it in English.
Okay. Meanwhile, Kumar Vasisht asks, I guess from Virginia, what's the significance of Guru Purnima? Why on a full moon day? I don't know much astrology, but apparently Vedavyasa started writing Brahma Sutras on a Purnima, and that became known as Vyasa Purnima, Guru Purnima. And if he had chosen a particular Purnima to start that monumental work called Brahma Sutras, he must have known the astrological significance of that particular Ashada Purnima. So apparently, this can be better answered by astrologers. Some planetary positions, positions of all the grahas, Rahu, Ketu, Buddha, Shukra, etc. And then that particular Purnima can be most conducive for our energies to rise and flow towards God. So otherwise, some say it is birthday of Vedavyasa also, but what I have heard is he began writing those 555 Brahma Sutras. Writing each of them must have taken him some amount of thinking, because through those 555 aphorisms, sutras, he covered a vast domain of Upanishadic discussions. Yeah. Why on a full moon day? Full moon also is generally known to be very pleasing, Purna Chandra, and so on. But there must be more to it. Why not any other Purnima? Why Ashada Purnima? So astrology would have an answer. You know that Parashara went to the extent of, uniting with Matsyagandha to produce Vyasa, because he saw that the planetary positions were so conducive. If I unite with a woman and a child is born, that child will be a great Jnani, he thought. And then Parashara was a rishi, Matsyagandha was a simple fisherman's daughter, and Vyasa was born, who is therefore called Parasharya. So great Jnanis sometimes take up certain things, whatever it is, some project, some activity, looking at the planetary positions. Guru Purnima, Ashada Purnima must be having tremendous amount of positiveness from the astrological point of view. Now they have found out that the 11th day after Purnima or Amavasya is the best day for Upavasa. Scientists have found out. And that's how in India we have been observing Ekadashi. Scientists have found it out from some other considerations, the body functioning, the glands, and so on. They have studied what happens to human body on a full moon night, what happens to the human body on a full moon, new moon night, and then on the 9th day, 10th day, 11th day, not one day later, not one day before, apparently is ideal for fasting. Some Western scientists have found. Hindus have all reason to be happy at Ekadashi. Okay. Okay, in number 15, what is the meaning of Nijam? Yeah, Nijam I said also in the lecture. Nija in Sanskrit means one's own. See, Nijagraha means one's own house. Nija Grama is my own village. Nija Bhasha is my own. Nija in Sanskrit means one's own. Therefore, there it is, I think, I'll tell you, the 15th verse, I have the text for my reference here. Nijam Shaivam Rupam or something is there. I'll come to 15 is here. Nijam Shaivam Rupam Vivida Guna Bhedena Bahuda. So he sees his own, Nija is his own. He sees his own Shaiva Rupa, his auspicious form, auspicious nature, one with Shiva. Whether he is worshipping Nirakara or Sakara, he bears in mind my own true nature is Satchidananda. So Nija is my own. That's the meaning of the word.
In Tamil, Nijam is truth. Nijama Cholren.
Same thing with Kannada. Kannadigas get confused at such places.
Yeah.
Nija means Sahi, such.
Sahi bolte hai.
So I took my own time being a Kannadiga that in Sanskrit Nija doesn't mean true. In Kannada, Tamil, maybe in a couple of other South Indian languages.
Exactly.
Suppose somebody says, Biden is refusing to step down. Other fellow says, Nija, something true. He is not agreeing. So it is endorsement sometimes. Okay, Patricia, yes, I am writing in English, but automatically it's translated. Oh, yeah, technical problem. She writes in English, but she has some software, it puts it into Spanish. So that's okay. You please write later on by email or on WhatsApp, etc. In touch with us anyhow. So with this, let's conclude, and after 2 weeks, we'll have another webinar. Om Namah Paramarashibhyo, Namah Paramarashibhyaha.